What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JB, and I'm here today with a review from Marriage to Medicine, Season 7, Episode number 14, titled Trouble in Spa-radise? Okay, without further ado, you guys, let's go ahead and just jump into the video. Alright, you guys, so this video might not be super duper long because the episode just wasn't a lot. So the episode opens and we started out with Quad. So we see Quad, and Quad, she is going to sit down with a good friend of hers. And the good friend is none other than Cynthia Bailey from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So she tells us how, she's been cool with Cynthia for some years now. And the funny thing is, on Watch What Happens Live, she was booked with Kenya. And there was tension between those two because Kenya shaded the hell out of Quad. Because, they were showing a clip of next week's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. So then instead of Andy asking a question, Quad took it upon herself to ask Kenya how does she feel about, her husband. And, Kenya was like, you know what? Let's let Andy ask the question. And she was like, oh, okay. And Andy was like, once Kenya did answer the question, he said, well, that was basically the same question that we were going to ask. She was like, yeah, but we're just going to let you host your show. And she's like, yeah, we'll let you host your show, Andy, but you can come on down to the Circle and talk to us. She's like, yeah, I do watch the Circle. It's a cute little show. She says, you would know. I'm like, oh, where is this tension coming from with these two? Like, it was shade the whole entire 30 minutes. And then at the end of the episode, Andy did ask Kenya, so, because a lot of questions are coming in, like, why were you so shady toward Quad earlier in the episode? She was like, oh, and yeah, Quad was like, yeah, do tell the people, like, what's going on? She says, give 2 words what it is. She says, I'll just say history. And Quad was like, but I met you years ago at, on the BT red carpet. She says, yes, and I was very nice to you there. And I really did like you. But the thing was, and Kenya said that it was an episode of Watch What Happens Live when she was on there with Sheree. And I went and watched a clip from when she was on there with Sheree. She didn't say anything bad when she was on there with Sheree. But she did say something, and it wasn't really bad. This goes back to season. What season was that? What season was it when Portia dragged Kenya by her hair? If you guys can tell me what season that was, I think that was season number. That was season 6, right? I believe that was season number 6 when that happened. But Phaedra was on Watch What Happens Live, and Phaedra was talking about, because they were talking about the reunion, and Quad made a little comment. People can, they can always say something, but they can't back it up. So that's where they came from. And then Quad was like, but you said some nice things. You said some stuff about my ex-husband. She said, oh, I love it. I love him. She says, I think he's a great guy. And Quad was like, you do? She says, well, he's been nothing but a good guy to me. Now, I can't speak about, and I'm so happy that Kenya said, I can't speak about how he treated you, but from what I've saw, he's a good person. And Quad says, likewise, I can't say the same thing about your marriage. So that was the issue. So I'm like, ooh, because it was just shade. I'm like, whoa. Shade. So then Cynthia, back to Married to Medicine, you guys. So Cynthia asked Quad, how are things with her? And, she's telling her things are okay. And then, Cynthia tells her, well, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And then Quad is talking about how on social media people are so accusatory of her, which I understand. I get it. People want to say that Quad is to blame for what happened with her marriage. Do I agree with that? No. What I will say about Quad and her marriage, Quad, and I just wonder, did Quad and Dr. G ever really sit down to discuss what they wanted out of the marriage? I can't place fault. I won't place fault on Dr. G, and I won't place fault on Quad. I'll say it's a collective of both of them because it takes 2 people. 2 people are in the marriage, so it's on both of them. Dr. G should have, she should have told Dr. G before they got married she don't want any kids. I just don't think that they had a communication for effective. I'm gonna say effective communication with one another. But it is what it is. And then Cynthia asked her if she dating. I'm like, no, she's not dating. Quad is too picky. She has a list of things that she wants, and she listed them things off. And the one thing that she didn't mention, which production was super shady to say, was super rich. Oh God, I thought that was funny. But yeah, Quad is not dating. Quad would have to date somebody that is next to Jesus, basically. But let's move on, you guys. Yeah, I was right, you guys. This is gonna be very, very short because we next have Dr. Heavenly. So we have Dr. Heavenly. She's having a Sunday dinner with the kids, and we finally get to meet her son Zach, that we have not saw for shit. How long is this? Heavenly's been on Married to Medicine season 2, and we never saw Zach. This is the first time we saw him, but she has mentioned him before. So it's Laura, it's Damon Jr., it is Zach. They're all having Sunday dinner. So this is her way of trying to bribe them to get the kids to come to the house by cooking. Because they were like, you ain't never cooked like this. I'm like, does she ever cook? Period. I'm not shady. I'm being funny. I'm being shady. So then, Heavily tells the boys that Laura wants to go out with her little friends, but Heavily does not want that to happen. And then Damon Jr. is like, oh yeah, we can't let that happen. I mean, she's a teenage girl. She's 13, and from what we see, she's a very smart, intelligent young lady. So I don't think that she's gonna let a lot go on that she doesn't want to happen. Um, where am I at? So yeah, I mean that's I get it. That's her last child in the house. That's her baby. She wants to be protective of her, but I think you're a little bit too overprotective of her. The girl has been reading you for years. So, Dr. Damon says, you know what, buddy, just let her go. But take your phone with you and, be in contact with us. And so she's like, so you want her to go? He says, yes, let her go. And the Lord's like, so what's up? And Heaven says, you can go. I'm like, that was easy. Just set rules for her. Like, tell her if. And she's like, look at it. She calling her friends now to come get her. What do you think she's. I mean, I did the same thing when my mom used to give me permission. When I would want to go to one of my best friend's house, I would call her and be like, Mama, can I go over so and so's house? When I was staying with my grandmother, she'd be like, call their mom, my best friend. She would tell me call his mama and ask her if it's okay. And I would call him like, is it okay? I got permission from my mom. Is it okay if I come over? She would say, yes, we'll come get you. They didn't live that far from my grandmother's house. Or if they wanted me to go somewhere with them, they would call and say, well, James, he wants Jerome to go somewhere with him. Is it okay? My grandma would be like, it's okay with me, but, let me call his mama and ask his mama. And we would call my mom and she'd say, yeah. And that would be how it worked. And I was single digits at this time in my life, but it is what it is. Heavenly said yes because Daddy told her. I didn't want to say that because Damon told her to say yes. But let's move on. All right, you guys, I am really stretching some of these storylines to make this video somewhat long because, again, some of these storylines were just not much in this episode. So next we got Toya. So we see Toya, she's cooking tacos with the boys. Eugene comes home from a long day of work. He's tired. I look at Eugene, I'm like, man, you are working yourself to the bone. I mean, you must really, really love Toya to work yourself to the bone because and I know people I would say Toya is working. She works on this show. I mean, yes, that is true. What they filmed for 3 to 6 months, for 3 months they're filming. Then they go through post production where they're not doing anything. Then they go through the show. Then after, I mean, so yes, I mean, I'm gonna give it to it. But damn, this is not a full time job. Well, it could be a full time job, but it's like a seasonal full time job, basically. Basically, basically. Whereas Eugene is working a full time job every day, 365 days a year. But again, I'm not shading anybody. I'm just saying, I'm just stating facts. I'm just putting out there what I see. But the thing with Toya is, Toya just does not seem like she is good with money at all because they're having a housewarming party. So she's talking about how much it's gonna cost. She said $10,000. I'm like, why? I just feel like Toya's gonna run them right back into debt again. $10,000 with 125 people. What the fuck are you doing with that money? 125 people, and $10,000 for the party. What the fuck is that? Please explain to me, what the fuck are you buying $10,000 for 125 people? That math does not completely add up to me. 125 people with 10,000. Okay, I'm gonna shut up and we just gonna move the fuck on. All right, so next we got Dr. Contessa. So we see Dr. Contessa, she's at work, and Dr. Scott is at home with the kids cooking. So then another day, we see a different day change, and both Dr. Scott and Dr. Contessa are at home. And we see their therapist come, she makes a house call to them, and they just sit down and have a conversation. In this action, I liked it. Dr. Scott was able to, admit that maybe he does have some wrong when it comes to the whole, Contessa going to school, because he feels, but at the same time, I do think that Contessa has some fault in this as well. Because like I've said plenty of times before, I don't know if Contessa sat down and had a discussion with Scott about this. And then two, when she came back home from school, she was griping about some things. Like, I did not appreciate that. Like, you should have been like, oh, I see that you cook for the kids. Oh, I see that you've done this. Oh, okay, you've done this. Look at you. I'm not mad at you. Something like that. Don't just come in here and gripe and fuss with the man. And then, like I said, he took some ownership as well. He said that, maybe when it came down to it, he didn't, necessarily protect his feelings from the kids. So he can admit to that. And he also said that, he may have guilted Contessa into coming back home. Do I believe that he guilted Contessa into coming back home? 50%. I will say 50%, yes. I feel like he did guilt Contessa into coming back home, but Contessa also put a little bit of that guilt on him as well. So, he also tells Contessa, if he could do things differently, he definitely would. And one of the things that he would do differently would be to tell her how proud he is of her. And he does say that, I'm really proud of you. And he says, you know what? I think that you should go back and finish school. I'm like, oh, now that is sweet. It's good to see that we are closing the season out with these two on a good note. So, I'm happy for Contessa and Scott at this point. So let's move on, you guys. All right, you guys. And so then to close out the episode, we got Buffy. So Buffy is having his spa day, and we see all the ladies getting ready for it. So we see I think they were at Buffy's house. It was Jackie, it was Heavenly, Simone showed up, Toya was there, Mariah showed up with a boot on her foot, and with Blake in tow, because she needed help. I'm like, girl, it's a boot. She said she had a little accident because she and Aiden stayed over in Mexico a little bit longer than the other couples did. Mariah was being extra. Like, girl, it's a boot. You can still walk. What did you need Lake's help with? I mean, you could if they had. I didn't even see them with food, but if there was food, you can get your food. Like, it was massages. Excuse me. You can get a massage. Like, what was that boot stopping? Please explain to me. What the fuck was the boot stopping? I just don't get it. Why would you bring Lake? The reason you brought Lake was to be messy. Period, point blank. You knew Quad was coming, so you said, let me bring Lake. Like, shit. And then Heaven was like, oh shit, Lake is here. And she texts Quad and tells her, so I'm giving you a bit of a heads up, but Lake is here. So then, they see a video of Buffy saying she's not there at her house, but she will meet them, and she won't be on the bus with them, but she will meet them at the destination that they're going to for the spa day. So, they get there, and, when I'm actually on Jackie's side, when Buffy kept squealing, I'm just like, oh, please make it stop. So, Buffy tells them to change into their bikinis so that they can get their massages, and everybody did it. Well, no, only people that did it was Buffy and Toya. And I'm like, wow, y'all got a lot of body in them suits. Look good. Definitely look good. Um, so they did that. Toya, she had 4 people on her, and Toya was an orgasmic Kevin. So then, we see that Buffy has also done goat yoga. I was with Heavily and everybody else who said no to the goat yoga. Ain't no way in god dang hell would I do fucking goat yoga. Goats eat everything and they shit. And that happened to happen. One of them shit. I'm like, oh no 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 no. Cause I'd be damned if a goat shits on me. I'm like, yep, I'm done. I'm trying my hardest not to kill this little bastard, but nope, gots to go. So then they go back in the house, and they heavily brings up Lake and the whole allegations about what happened at the reunion last season. Quad doesn't want to talk about it, and Lake says, me and Quad have our own issues. I knew Quad years before you guys knew her. So Toya says, so what would it take for you and Quad to men whatever's there? And Lake was like, you know what? I'd rather not speak on it. If you'd rather not speak on it, why the fuck did you come? Oh God, why did Lake come? Somebody explain that shit to me. Why did Lake come? So then, I wasn't really paying attention to what Contessa said, but somewhere in the middle, Contessa and Mariah got into a little bit of an argument with each other. It wasn't much. But you guys, that was basically the episode. So be sure to like this video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification button so you guys know when I drop anything, share the video, and I will catch you guys later tomorrow for Love and Hip Hop New York's premiere, which is 2 hours, followed by part 2 of 3-part reunion for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. I don't know why that shit has 3 parts, but it does, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.